Dr. Amna Khan is with me. She's a consumer behaviour and retail specialist at Manchester Metropolitan University. She's with me this morning. Hi, nice to see you. Look, it's interesting, isn't it, when we hear these sort of stories, we see a direct impact on the share price. And there's sort of an issue here, isn't there, when you get someone who is so involved in the brands, like the boss of Ted Baker is, and then if that goes wrong, it could have an effect on the brand overall. How do they start to put this right?
Well, the first thing they need to do is to be seen to be taking some action, especially with the employees internally. The second thing they need to do is communicate that the staff can come forward and set up a strategy which can deal with issues such as this in the future. But you also need to tell your external shareholders, you need to tell customers, you need to make publicly available that knowledge that you are actually making some change. This is particularly important for a fashion retailer such as Ted Baker because of the changing dynamics of the market. Disposable fashion, where consumers are changing, online spending, online retailing is worth 20% of retail sales. That creates a more challenging and competitive market for Ted Baker, so it makes it a bit more difficult. So these issues are all coming together.
And also that point where, you know, someone is so involved, you know, if it's just maybe someone who's doing a bit of advertising or maybe a brand influencer or someone like that, they can move quietly away from that, can't they? But this is the boss.
Right, so the issue here is that the boss actually represents the brand and they're quite synonymous with each other. So they represent the brand and he represents what it means. If you look at good examples of brands, they have awareness and association which are positive, unique and favourable. In this situation, it's not a favourable situation at the moment for the brand. A good example is Richard Branson and Virgin. What we can see from other brands is that they use celebrity endorsements or influencer marketing, such as Gymshark do for fitness. They can quite easily detach the celebrity or the influencer from the brand. You can't in this situation.
So how do they start to put this right? We'll get the results, as we said this morning, at 7 o'clock. That's one thing, but everyone will be looking at, you know, the investigation that they expect to launch this morning. How do they start to put this right so it doesn't affect sales? Because it's a crucial time of year.
It's about communicating this change. It's about a recovery plan. It's about managing a crisis, because it is a crisis situation for them. So they need to have a strategy in place, but that needs to be communicated internally so the staff feel like that they're in a workplace where they feel that they've got some empathetic sympathy about what's going on. That needs to be communicated externally, and that situation needs to be recovered.